Okay, thank you so much for waiting. So to give a recap, it's day 2, it's Tuesday. We did a ton of stuff day 1. We fully investigated the body. We've met a bunch of the interesting characters around town. Now we need to interview this group of members of the Union who definitely have something to do with the murder. We're just not quite sure what. Let's see. This gardener wasn't in here yesterday. Let's talk to her.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Yeah. Ever since Kuno told us about this chick, you're not quite the gardener. Oh, okay. Sorry, Comterra. Tara, I appreciate all your help with Apex. So, thank you so much. You enjoy your night. Alright. I want to know more about this place before I check it out.
Yes, extremely normal. I'm not a gardener, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
Okay.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Okay. She said she pointed to the man on her right. Is talking about this guy or this guy?
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest.
Tell
if
him.
we have to.
Tell him, Kim.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everett sent to law school?
Are you Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Points to the tall man by the table.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face.
Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
What's your role in all this, though?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
I feel like she's not telling me everything. Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence.
No, I don't.
These people are just dock workers.
No, they aren't.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, that is him. Titus. The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
And here you can make a... The world needs a financial buffer zone. No need to get emotional. The privatization is not unlawful. It's cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individuals. I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong, unlike you socialists. I liked that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? All right, let's keep it neutral like Kim says. So I'm say, yeah, let's do that, and let's ask those questions.
Let's.
All right, let's talk to Titus. She seems to be stonewalling us. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and union placards. It's a bowl, there's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Gross.
This is where you say your bit.
Your bit. Broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective,
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you.
Precinct 57's finest scans the room, leaving the speaking to you. He trusts you, maybe against his better judgment, but he does.
We need to talk about the hanged man, or the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Okay.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
All right, scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine.
Like me.
Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet.
By the way, size 45 or 46, is that like European shoe size measurements? Is that how they're like a normal range for men's shoe sizes?
Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s.
Ooh, here's the fat guy for the big footprints. I said foot. Big boot prints.
And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Plectrum. Is that like a drug? I don't know what that is.
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Gonna put these measurements in freedom units. 130 kilos in pounds. 286 pounds. That's a big boy.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is missing. The odd soul.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Let's be direct. The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why are you booting your boot prints all over the crime scene?
You mean these boots?
Yeah.
We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah. We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why our prints are all over the scene.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
Let's see. How'd you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Doesn't match.
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
The lieutenant goes in for the leg sweep. Titus does not see it coming.
Look. I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
These guys are the cover-up.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Ooh. Things aren't quite right. 72%. We might be able to get a little bit more. Mr. Tats, what'd you use to knock the victim out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Well, where did all this action take place?
Right fucking here. The fucker started coming to our bar, asking for it.
No. Please don't fail. Try a 72% roll. Nothing's guaranteed in this game.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
All right, who's solid?
Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch. Definitely not his first time being questioned by the police.
Okay.
This little rat-faced fellow is solid too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there.
And who's cracking? Looks like the big boy. Fat Angus. Oh, no narration. This one, he's sweating. I can't do the guy's voice. He's sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link in the chain.
I'm coming, Mother!
Hey, you having trouble breathing over there?
No.
He looks up startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
I should add that as a sound bite for me.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Right, all muscle.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to...
We got the sea sucker!
Twig.
Alright, there's something you're not telling me.
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
I pushed it a little far.
His all-muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. He's genuinely trying to look out for Angus. This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Okay. And a couple other questions.
Like what, Copper?
Why'd you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
Jaw clamped shut like a vice. It's worthless.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. ex-Oranese Special Forces.
Ex-Orange's Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
What did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He actually might have done that.
There's slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Is this the same girl who was sexually assaulted or raped, as you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
Yeah, but who did he rape then? This is a serious allegation.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
How does the bullet in his head factor into this?
Huh?
There was a bullet in the dead man's brain. Why was it there if you hanged him?
How the fuck do I know? Anyone could have shot him. Target practice, maybe.
Nope.
This line of questioning is over. You got the cause of death already? Hanging. If there's any post-mortem trauma, it's your problem. This will not turn into a cross-examination.
Alright then, when did the hanging incident occur?
You don't have to answer any of his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long have you known him?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah, but like how long was he around town?
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town.
We got the sea sucker!
Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Well, then who was calling the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys.
Then I will.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Let's see. I can address her, address him. No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
Point to Fat Angus, the bearded man. Everard Clare. Let's see. How about I pick on Angus a little bit? I'm guessing it's the big one.
The sweaty man turns red and looks first down, then around him, apologetically.
It's not the fat ass. Tight Titus runs the Hardy Boys, genius. That's why we're called the Hardy Boys. Ain't that right, fellas?
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
Okay. She murdered him just like that, no remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
What we do is different. He's not going to respond to that. We're enforcing the law. Just doing my job. He's not going to like that either. These are all bad people. He's not going to like any of these answers, so I think I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars.
Doesn't remember them. He just forgets. Are you hearing this, Titus?
Yeah, no, but he's not going to like any of those answers.
Ain't no use keeping a stiff catalog in your head. That's for sure.
So what are we going to do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Yeah, we are.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
I can attempt a godly authority, 3% chance. All right, I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy Boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Maybe.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
The Hardy
That's
Boys.
right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
How you doing, Terry?
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
It's the war cry of the city sucker. Still haven't explained the bullet I found in the hangman's head.
You still on about that bullet? A bullet in a hangman's head. You're right, Copper. That is mighty curious.
Mighty
Indeed.
curious.
Mighty. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads. I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Did you guys shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
I'm going to ask you again. Why was this in the victim's head?
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all.
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
I think the hanging was a cover-up for the shooting.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you knowing this.
All right, we'll figure this out sooner
Never
or later.
been worried in my life, lawman.
It's not like you blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there somewhere.
Oh, it was pretty good. I actually played it for longer than I was planning on, because I just kept wanting to go one more. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to continue playing it next week. I think I'm going to play with Eslis too. Alright, let's take off. Yeah, baby. I think I'm gonna... Well, next week, there's a new patch for Fallout 76. So I'm definitely going to be playing that. But between that and Fallout 76 and Apex are probably going to take over a little bit instead of Overwatch. Just for a little while, you know? Let's see, dirty dishes. Thinly sliced tomatoes. Never talked to this guy. That's right, just until Jeff comes back. Once Jeff is back, we're back
A
in.
thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garanci and Kubek.
Are those Hungarian words?
It must be his name. Garanci. Garanci Kubek. Sounds representative.
Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Leo said you're friends with Manana. Is that true?
The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends.
It's in that borscht you're
The
making
man
there.
says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Yes.
Horse need more vodka?
More vodka. Is this Russian?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself.
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
You know what? Leave the cooking to
The
you.
cook gives you a long, inspecting look, then shrugs too, and seems to wait for you to speak.
Got some impressive pots
He
there.
smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine? Masculine? That's weird.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
Let's try to push on the door.
The door does not budge.
Touch it.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe.
This couldn't be a walk-in freezer, could it? I wonder where this door leads.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
I'm drawn to its cobalt blue.
It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it. as a side investigation.
Yes, a mini side investigation.
Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
We broke through on white morning. Plus 20% zoom out distance. All Motorix learning caps raised by 1. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him. Make him smaller. Make him less you. Oh. Almost only 2 hours till we have rigorous self-critique. Search. Let's zoom out more.
Can I help you?
Got my
Got
bill.
the
for
20
today.
real.
Not yet.
Then why are you wasting my time?
Another thing.
Great. I love those.
So the phone line is dead?
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
Pretty strange.
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
Is it true that there's foul play?
Who told you that?
Lena.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill.
Okay. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
You know what's behind it? Do you have...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Let's let him get to pretend he's indifferent.
He looks at the dust on his finger and wipes it off.
Let me try
yes,
again.
That door. No, I... Or some...
He's attempting to maintain an air of
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay. A little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
Alright, why can't I go in the kitchen?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
Maybe I am a cook?
You're not. You're a menace. Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the real cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. Yes?
Alright, goodbye. Oh, I sure did. More like Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Ooh, I'm gonna take that money. Oh, of course I liked it. I'm sad it's over. I wanted another 10 episodes. Or a 10 episode series, not 6. Mas. I could keep going. I got 2 skill points I could level up. Let's talk to Mañana. Órale.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Yeah, they could have done a little bit more with that. Although I have to imagine they kind of left that string. There wasn't a really fulfilling like stopping point to that string. Oh no, you know what he was? It was very open-ended because he did face consequences for that. He had a little bit of a moment of redemption by trying to pull the truck back up, but it's kind of open-ended about what he's doing with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. You know, told me you're supposed to know about the armor.
The little boy had it good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it won't follow the comics exactly. I'll leave it open-ended for myself. No spoilies. Even though you can't really call it spoilers because nobody knows what happens yet, you know?
So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
Right. So Kuna used this to what, scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
Probe into the armor, what'd you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove.
Yeah?
So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off.
Cuirass.
Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Too much hassle. 4 pieces of armor up for grabs then, but I already sent the boots away.
I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least.
What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
Alright, I'm gonna find 1 piece of it. 1 is enough.
Nice and balanced. Some junior officers can take care of the rest.
Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armored too. The one the bullet hits.
Actually, armor to the one the bullet hits. Okay. Oh. Ah, I see. They're gonna out Suicide Squad the Suicide Squad?
Good luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off him.
A boyadero.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Gotta run. Gotta blast. Go back to that crate. A giant aspirate on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. back to the crate.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Let's try that impossible 3% roll.
Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Hello? Is anybody there? Holy shit.
The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again.
There's someone in there. I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Oh my god.
Ahoy! Come on in!
Mega rich light bending guy. What?
You can't be serious.
What? What is this?
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital.
Capital?
The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing.
We got the sea sucker!
Let's squint.
Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo.
Yeah, like he's legitimately sucking the city in around him.
Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard.
We need a 20 visual calculus. Yes, Terry, but I mean, the Winter Soldier hated Zemo, and nobody on the Suicide Squad really likes each other. Well, you mean some, like, accept the other person. That's kind of the idea, is that being forced to work together, you know?
In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Hello.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
What you can see of his body appears composed in a sharp summer suit and yacht shoes. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Okay.
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
My name's Harry. I'm an alcoholic detective.
Pleasure to meet you, Harry. Though I'm sorry to hear a good public servant like yourself is in servitude to the drink. A man can't serve two masters in my experience.
Okay.
I can assure you, Mr. Diodore, that despite his vices, he is a competent detective.
Well, thank you, Kim.
Oh, don't you worry, Lieutenant. I can tell a good man when I see one.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think.
Okay.
By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
We're in Martinez, the district of Revachol, the former capital of the world.
Ah, Revachol. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
Do you travel from place to place via shipping container?
Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to.
Why does he keep talking about it like that?
Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, bail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
That's what I'm going to change it to. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Thank you guys for following this very high net worth individual. Sorry that you're all so low net worth. So you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle?
What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
Well, how'd you become so rich?
Oh Lord, not this again.
What's the matter, Kim?
Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
Kim, there's a literal being of light bending the laws of physics around him right now. You don't want to talk to him? Jeez.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Graz.
Exactly right, Terry. Here, Terry. Speaking of, am I saying this right? Bulldog Sulniapot. Sulniapot. Bulldog Sulniapot. I wrote it down. If I could say it right.
All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
Sulinapot. Bulldog Sulinapot. Good enough. How bad is the accent on that? Like on a 1, almost not understandable, to a 10, perfect. Boots, like that. It was a good 6? Okay. Picture of the background might look pretty average, but it's actually the original card. Yeah, that one right there. That's what it is. What's it like being an extremely high net worth individual? Obviously something I can answer, but I'll just have this guy answer, of course.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive.
Yeah.
You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level.
Understandable.
But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what.
Okay.
Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
You're right. Capital accumulation is its own reward. Don't you think that you should use your great wealth for the glory of your fatherland? You're a thief. People out there are working their asses off while you chill here. It's great that you've done so well for yourself, but don't you think that you owe some of that wealth to the rest of society? I mean, he obviously does not think that. Or cool. I don't even have any interesting replies. What do you guys think I should say? Okay, Terry, if you find her, let me know. I'll try it. I think you should call him a city sucker. Let's see. Let's try that. Let's try number 4. Or number 1. Oh, man. Okay, let's see if I can do my eyes. Oh, it's too far. Too far again. Let's try 4.
Sure. And they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht?
Thousands?
Dozens, at least.
Oh.
Of course, in the future, it'll all be automated. But my point is this. Every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him.
Man, being a high net worth individual sounds great.
It is truly. It's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself spiritually.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
His essence seems to signify actual surprise. Well, I don't know how to put it. You look somehow a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I mean, I can't even see you. It's as if something happened to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
Or what?
It's some statistical thing. In essence, it says that when an extremely low net worth individual
Chatters.
meets an extremely high net worth individual,
Me.
some of the laws of physics cease to apply.
Yep. That's exactly what's happening right now in Twitch chat. Are you telling me that you're so rich that light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, real question, like, do you guys even see what I look like right now? It all just looks white, right? There's just white everywhere. I don't even know what's happening. Among other things, but calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. Really?
No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
Kim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Wow, Kim.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
All right, do we leave him alone or do we ask him for some money? Unless by leaving, he's just going to offer to give us money. Or especially also point a gun at him. You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money?
Could you please stop asking people for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
But Kim, I also can't afford to look any better than I do now. That's why I need the money.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart man. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another.
Okay.
I think I only have coins for coffee machines.
How much could a coffee be? $50?
Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't look like 3 real. Look. Is that a glitch or is that legit? Thank you for your kindness.
You're welcome. You know,
His eyes narrow. The light seems to bend more aggressively.
maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
Okay.
This is a proposal, not a question.
Let's do some godly conceptualization. We rolled a 3% to get in here. Can we roll another one? We conceptualize on a godly level.
If business management were really your strong suit, you probably wouldn't be a cop.
Okay, so I've got this idea for a board game.
Go on.
Embrace yourself. It's very high concept.
I'm ready.
It's a pen and paper game where people all over the world can play with each other using radios.
Hold on. Have we met before?
I don't think so.
Yeah, on second thought, it couldn't have been you. Your idea reminds me of a group of young men who came to me a long time ago, calling themselves Fortress Accident. The name should have been a red flag. They pitched me and a handful of other investors on an idea for a role-playing game that would, in their words, change the world.
What happened?
Well, at first everything was rosy. The ideas were solid, but they were lacking in... how do I put it?
Chutzpah.
They lacked the will to get things done. As their financial situation became more desperate, their ideas devolved from realistic to absolute insanity. We lost all of our money. High art types never deliver. They're only good for peddling Welkins or whatever creeps they come up with.
I guess the inordinate amount of time they put into drawing mythical creatures did not generate a return on investment.
Wait, where are they now?
Nobody knows for sure, but the place can't be pretty.
Did you try to salvage the project somehow?
Sadly, when we got there, it was too late. The concept had run out of steam. Only dust remained.
That reminds me, we have to go back there.
What I want to tell you is this. It's a very bad idea. Dead in the water. You seem like a reasonable man, but that is not a reasonable plan.
You sure you don't want to give those little Welkins a second go?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, we should get back to our investigation. Thanks for your time.
It was a real pleasure. Sadly though, my current lifestyle prevents me from remaining more than a brief time in any one place. Perhaps we'll meet again, somewhere far away.
I hope so, sir.
Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
Oh, you too. Is this real?
What's this?
I'm
Negative,
coming, Mother!
Normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
I did get in fuzzy on a 3% roll. And look what he gave me. I don't know if this is a bug or this is real. Like, is this what he's supposed to give me? That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here.
The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
No more talk. Sign me up for a passport.
I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, we are all going to be so much happier.
Well, he did give me 3 real, and that's when I noticed the money like this. You think it's just being in his presence? Oh, and no, Terry, I didn't. I made it back after you had closed the stream. I'll have to go back and check it. Bankruptcy sequence. So, are we entering bankruptcy? Is the company going to go under? Kingdom of Conscious, -2 half light. Hour 25, 5 hours 15. Almost done with our righteous self-critique. We got a lot of other slots. Did you get to hear the voice acting on him, Fuzzy, or you want me to talk to him again? I can talk to him again real quick.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Thanks for your time. What can I do for you? Look. Oh, your money. Oh, yeah, you're right. The money just goes nuts the more you're walking around in here. Because he's so mega rich that you're just... that your net worth... Oh, and then it... Well, yeah, you're right. It's right while you're standing in his presence. Oh, man, I wish I could keep it. Now I only have $15 again. I can't make it rain. I can only... I should have pressed him for more money. I wonder if there's a combination of skills or... Make it drizzle. Yeah, both of you said it. I wonder if there's a combination of skills or a dialogue tree where you can actually have him give you a significant amount of money. We almost have enough for our room tonight. Oh yeah, if he liked our idea, maybe. And he'd invest in it. Take these bottles. Oh, there absolutely is, Terry. There for sure is. I just am trying to stay away from that for the most part while I do this on my first playthrough. Recycle all these bottles. And actually, Terry, funny enough, this game has full Twitch integration. Yeah. This game has full Twitch integration, so you can have your chat vote on each and every option. That would be a really fun playthrough to do. Yeah. It does, yeah. Right. Chat could play the whole game. All you'd really need to do is run to the different people. More than enough to please a woman, huh? Let me go talk to Kuno again. See if he has anything to say about talking to Manana. Go down the stairs. What are you doing? Why do you keep going back up? I have a recyclable bag to collect bottles, so I can sell them. In fact, thanks for reminding me. No, I'm actually about to go back there, Fuzzy. No, here, I'll show you what I'm wearing, Terry. So, I've got a cool orange bum hat. His arm also just keeps sliding through his jacket. It's supposed to be like that. Cool orange bum hat. I'm wearing a sick-ass patrol cloak. I got a shirt, flare-cut trousers. I'm carrying a yellow plastic bag. And I don't have any bullets, but I have a ledger of failure and hatred. green snakeskin shoes, yellow gardening gloves, a horrific necktie, and some glasses. That's what's happening.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. You're 100% sure you got special Hobocop money for that tear. At least 100% extra tear money. If the numbers on the machine told you otherwise, it's a lie. The tear machine stands in the corner.
No. You need tear to use.
You tear to use the tear machine. Okay. Well, I earned my $20. I can afford to sleep tonight. Let's go pay that $20 before I spend it or lose it. Sleeping heals all your health and morale. That's good.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Okay. We did it. Down to 88 real. I wonder how much you can do behind Kitsuragi's back. Like, first of all, I wonder what a speed run of this game looks like, and second of all, how much can you do when you ditch the LT? Right, Kuno have anything to say?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Fuck does Kuno care? Fucking Kuno.
So?
Alright. Talk to Manana about the armor. He said, now you're the king of the entire Jamrock?
North Jamrock? Kuno meant everything north of 881. The rooster fucked Kuno's words up. Kuno doesn't do south. Doesn't fuck with the madre.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Yep, the lieutenant doesn't care.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. Don't be saying what Kuno said back to Kuno. Get the fuck out of here, Patterson Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Fucking Kuno. Alright, let's go back to the commercial area. Doo-doo-doo. Let's look at this chick again.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yeah, I found a way into the Doom commercial area.
Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
Kuno's a city sucker, that's right. Who's this person? You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books. A good one?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
Okay.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Okay.
If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Shouldn't a working class woman be working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Good, good.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
You need the help of a policeman?
What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
Maybe your husband is missing.
My husband? No, he's not.
So where could he be?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where your husband is.
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to?
No.
I can totally help you find your missing husband.
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay.
It's okay.
What?
It's all right not to know where your husband is. Nothing shameful in that.
Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
It really is.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then.
Maybe your cockatoo is missing?
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing?
I don't even have a cockatoo.
What?
And guess what? Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing.
All right. Cockatoo not missing. Just wanted to make sure.
Great.
One more question. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo?
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Actually, that's what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip.
Wonderful. The store is open.
Maybe your children are missing.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
Nanny, where are they?
They are not missing, sir.
Yes, I'm ready. Let me see if I can say it. Bulldog Sulinaput. Is that right? Think she'll understand? Okay, I'll wait for you to signal.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
Okay. Or Lena. Lena or Lena? Do. Say it now. Okay. Say hello. Bulldog Sulinapot Lena. Yeah? Yeah? Say it again. Okay. Bulldog Sulinapot. Yeah?
We got off the sea sucker!
Did it come out right? Bulldog Sulinapot.
What if something horrible has happened? What if they're dead? That's the bad vibe you got before.
Do. Okay. And the headphones are off her, right? So I can keep going on this game. Want to make sure she doesn't hear anything nuts on there. I thank her too. Hopefully it was okay. Alright. They're at home, right? Smoking cigarettes.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Shamrock. There's nothing to worry about.
She's getting upset. Her voice has risen as she tries to convince herself that her daughters are safe.
What am I doing
They're
to this woman?
almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. Tell me, how old are they?
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
Can you describe me their appearance? Any features that stand out? Something to make identifying a little easier?
Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Shamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party?
Oh, Terry and or Joffrey. Is an average shoe size for men like 42, 43? Does that correlate to like shoe sizes in where you guys live? It's for the investigation. I'm just trying to be professional.
There is no investigation here. I can tell you that.
I know, that's why I'm wondering, is because here in the US an adult man's shoe size would be like a 10, you know? Like a way lower number. I'm wondering where in this game, like what they're using for shoe sizes. Let's watch
Her
her grasp.
hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
It's all for the moment. I'll let you read.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Why did I do that to that woman? That's so random. An EU42 is an 11 in... Is that Australia or US? Ba-ba-ba.
A small
Yeah, that sounds
mountain
closer.
of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by
Board games? Where's our birds?
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Is it me?
Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere.
Oh, I have to ask the shopkeep. Okay. Thought I could like
You're
read
alive
it.
and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
Dark sarcophagus.
Yes, yes. How was it?
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises leeching life energy from this bookstore.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity of hers.
Yeah, still gotta look. But I'm looking for a book about cockatoos.
A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
Okay.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People.
Okay, is this it?
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Right, let's flip through those pages.
Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool.
What about this guide to cockatoo, storekeeper?
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Ooh, do we try to steal it? 58%.
Slowly, you move your hand toward the tome of cockatoos. Before you reach the book, you're interrupted.
Do we really need to do this? I think not.
Darn. We'll just have to buy it later. I also need to buy that, what is it, an astrology book or something? Maybe we'll get a bunch of, maybe we'll get a bunch of money down here finding the entity. I need to put my, it's going to tell me to equip my flashlight. Is that what's going to happen?
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Got it, Kim. No need to rub it in. Is that all he's going to tell me again?
It's dark.
Okay. Yeah. I was literally about to put on the flashlight, Kim. Oh, where is it? Tools. Still have our
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotorblades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
Well, that's just speculation. We don't know anything for sure.
Not quite. You do know that there's something unusual about this company's business model.
Okay. Spooky in here. I never fully explored this place with the bear fridge. And also there was something left in here.
Bear's
I
eyes are still glowing red. Watching over all the eyes, a friendly cut. The paper still smells.
Good question. I know. What is it? The
Lucky us, indeed.
Okay. Thought there was something on that note I read that was evidence.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper.
I wonder who wrote the note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe it's because of the entity.
That's implausible.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid?
Really?
Kuno.
You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
You have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Okay, so that's what it's talking about, huh?
An intricate web. It's still kind of...
Okay, I've already done that. Is this the ice cream maker? Should I cast a strange shadow? Shadow, there's a hidden doorway there. Ooh. Okay. Frozen an ice cream maker that's still running. Intercom wires running to the breaker box. Ooh. Insane mesh tank top. He's a hot, super cool, ripped scientist with a mesh tank top. Played by Dolph Lundgren. +1 drama. I have a -1 drama. Alright, don't I have a Plus, is it -1 drama for my glasses? Oh, +1 visual calculus, -1 drama. This would give me +1 drama. Once I get better eyewear, I'll probably swap out for the mesh tank top. What's up, dude? How's it going, ESP? Money! Cellar window, people's feet shuffling by on the street. Cause I shuffle my feet, dance with the creeps, cause it's all about money, ain't a damn thing funny. You got to have a con in this land of milk and honey. Let's check this machine.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
I should have read the note again to figure out what it said. Try the crank.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
Says there's a filament, okay.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
Sure would.
No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Okay. Super pry bar.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine.
-20.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Because my pry bar is not strong enough.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge.
What is this?
You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Don't do it.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced? Where do we get one?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Yeah, it is. Just
Sooner
like
or
the
later,
shipping
you will
container.
stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
Okay.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
What if I unplug it and let the ice melt?
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like it's the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Okay.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Let's crack open the lid.
You slip your fingers under the frozen. No, this is if you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna plug it back in then.
Only the red cable somewhere. A machine hums along.
Yeah, but it didn't say anything about... Okay, let me try again then.
Two cables, something...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant...
Let's see. I think it's just going to tell me I need a super pry bar again.
This orange machine is dead still.
Oh, you get a
It
+2
has
bonus
a
for it
hand-cranked
being
ice cream
unplugged,
churner
but...
and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melts. The ice squeaks beneath them. You see...
Yeah, well, I have no idea.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a...
Okay, well, let's plug it back in. Maybe there's something in there important that needs to stay
Only
frozen.
the red cable. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the...
Yeah, I am. Leave it unplugged, are you sure? Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. I guess I can't ask you what's in there without spoiling it, or leaving it unplugged or not, you know?
The wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine the light on the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Inspect them.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
That's not what he said. He said an old bell grave from the Revolution. The lieutenant notes with approval. His eyes are gleaming. The second part was correct. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. Would the murder weapon we're looking for be similar?
It's the same type of weapon, yes. A breech loader. An interesting coincidence that we should find something so similar. But I'm afraid our search for the real murder weapon must continue.
What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Well, where are we in the secret room?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Cache. Wait, is it saying I can put it? How come it's like graying out my shoes, pants, and neck? Kind of weird. Oh, I guess all the items do that. That's weird. Okay, never mind. Let me go back here. I'll unplug it like you said. Trusty on that one.
Cables, something.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows.
But the red cable.
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
I guess the unplugging the bear fridge is probably not a big deal.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
Okay. One last thing I haven't talked to is this. I haven't talked to this furnace.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the
Ice
furnace,
cream, no.
coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
Not sure, Kim, but I think I hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Physical instrument. Medium 10. Yell hello into the furnace.
You muster all your strength and yell. Your dehydrated, hungover throat can produce little more than a dry croak. A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you. The chatter from the chimney continues on as before. You seem to have made no impression on whatever's up there. Then again, maybe it's worth actually trying something up there.
Maybe you should let your voice rest, officer. Try again later.
Physical instrument. I try again. The voices I heard, maybe it's the malignant entity. Plaisance said it lives in a chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Alright, 58%.
Another pathetic yelp
my
sounds
God.
off into the vast darkness of the chimney. You're a little embarrassed you produced it.
I try again? Waste another skill point on that? Actually, do I have anything? I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna kick it.
A hollow ring echoes
Ow.
through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Damn it, dude. I better heal. Do I have anything that ups my physical instrument? My tank top. Dead from a furnace. I should have put my tank
A thick
top on.
layer of coal dust covers the furnace.
Alright, plus
coloring
one, kick
it
to the furnace.
pitch black.
Hello!
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Can you imagine putting on a new tank top and suddenly you're able to yell out better? Alright, Joffrey, you take care. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, then.
Hello?
Hello?
you've awakened the entity.
Hello? Are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
Okay.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Let's go. Hello. +1 conceptualization. Let's air it. Need to sit up. I keep sinking down into my chair, just like hanging, you know? Wasn't there something else about this, though?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The speaker.
Good afternoon. Please repeat.
Oh.
Thank you.
Tiles on the cube.
We need the password. Your mouse promotes chair sinking. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. Because during Apex Legends, I was like all up and ready to go. Never tried to lift this.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor.
Oh.
Like a dog.
I need to put my my tank top back on.
The barbell waits patiently on the
28%.
floor, like a dog for its master.
Almost had a heart attack.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous.
I almost did it.
Your
I rolled a
hands slip with
13.
Sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. See? See? This place is cursed.
Whatever. Weightlifting is for the intellectually impaired anyway.
It was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Alright. That shirt back on. Heal up. Where's the curtain? Is it back in the bookstore? It's in the dark area upstairs. I thought this was upstairs. You're right. It doesn't make sense that it would be in the bookstore. Oh, I never went this way. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Floorboards creak. Postcard, La Delta. Hello there. This tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. This candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Who's this? Is somebody working on the game?
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
With this vampire the masquerade.
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Must have been confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Hold on, what do you mean by milieus?
Yes, a milieu is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
He pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
No, I was looking for something else. Answers.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites.
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Okay.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
You know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Let's see. There was a terrify. Okay. Mannequins. Found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
Oh. Strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years.
Huh.
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you
Oh.
sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
It's weird.
No, it was something else. It was eerie. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Is it though? No, it was something else. Something eerie.
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
Alright, so you're telling me that the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
Is this part of the same building complex as Whirling in Rags?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area.
Who behind that
The
door?
darkness of this place is there, too.
I saw a name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell.
Right, it used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
His disdain for pinball could not be clearer.
I got a few more questions.
Sure, I'm listening.
Used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut, it's about the confidence.
Wrong with a bit of experimenting. The customer should have been more open-minded. I would never let anyone androgynous touch my hair, not even if my life depended on it. Yeah, I guess I'm a simple man. I don't really have any opinions on hairstyles.
Me neither. I just want it off my face.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
How did that community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Okay. Found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
I met one of their investors. He said they lacked the will to finish anything.
Huh, the salty investors. Well, yes, they couldn't get the project done on time and thus lost the funding.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear the chit-chat, or hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
Well, from what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Ooh, that's a rip.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway,
Snuff
and I
radio
have no
programs?
idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Huh. Yeah, what is
It's a
that?
sub-rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people
yeah.
pay good money to get off on it.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Right, someone here makes stuffed animals.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else?
Creepy mannequins?
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know insects had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Okay.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
But insects don't have any brains or feelings.
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
And what do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Her smile widens before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you.
Men like that are a curse.
Oh,
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All the remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
right, there's a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Okay.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
All right, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Hey.
And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Fritta does the same thing.
Let's see. I know a girl just like that. She works in Frita as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravachol ICT.
Okay.
And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. Guess it didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Okay.
Eventually, Ravachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I killed the bear.
You did what?
I unplugged the fridge to help Revachol Ice City cut their losses.
Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
Alright, very cool, but I don't want to hear about bears anymore. Let's move on.
Oh, I totally understand. Anything else?
Right, another question about the intercom.
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work.
It
Sure,
doesn't work.
Emily's
Other
good.
questions?
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
No, the whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off, and customers have trouble paying bills. I wonder what customer that is.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Still think it might be you causing this. No, I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointing, but I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Legendary Shivers. Why hasn't her business failed? 17%? We're gonna do it. Everybody in chat, focus. Focus. The dice roll. Give it.
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
This is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business hasn't failed.
Didn't we already talk about this?
It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
No, this used to be a coal plant. You're in a chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
Just using logic. It's windy in here. You probably haven't properly sealed the chimney crown. It has a different address in the heart of the city. Let's say I have my own methods, unusual methods. I like that one.
And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
I mean, no one's ever really safe from failure. What?
Do you know what this is?
She raises her hand to reveal a piece of metal shining on her index finger. Your lucky charm? Some kind of ward?
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
And why are you telling me this?
It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
Don't call it a dump. You've made it nice and cozy here.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world.
Picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light.
But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
I'd like to order a die from you.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Let's see. Well, I'm looking for something to help with my work.
I think I have just the right one for you.
She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cradled in her palm.
Police colors.
Because I'm a police officer, right?
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Hand-eye coordination?
Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Then wink at her.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer.
Hell yeah.
She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves.
Easy peasy, that's right.
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else?
Well, what do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
You often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out of the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about daily ruckus.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? I'm listening. Good.
Nope.
I hope it
How'd you
clarified
become a
how
dice
did I
maker?
become one.
Last option.
It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
You like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Okay, well, let's leave.
Rigorous self-critique.
Did it.
Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Whoa. Okay, so now I guess it's so intellect and psyche, red check failures now heal 1 morale. Physical and motorics, whatever it is, red checks failures heal 1 health now. My learning cap for pain threshold raised to 6. Wow. Pretty good. Okay, these are 2 20-sided die in the color of police alarm. Bloodstone for red, lapis lazuli for blue. If you roll them and squint your eyes, it looks like you're arriving on the scene, and it's raining. Note, look at the map, tab, and journal to see which white checks have opened. Use my pain threshold. Shrug off the pain. Do I get anything special when I maximize something? And is the only benefit from having something as my signature skill the +1? Oh, you've never maxed out a skill, okay. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any specific benefit for maxing out a skill. There's so many, all of these skills come in handy at different points. Okay. They said check the map, right? How do you tell which one's opened again? Fractured bullet, maybe? Can I take a look?
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Couple extra dialogue checks for signature skills later on. Okay. +4 for having a similar rifle on hand. +1, aware the name of the antique rifle you found. 72, come on, baby.
A rifle, Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Okay.
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you, the dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war, so there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Who uses the Belmargrave rifle these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I think I know where this came from. He dangles the bullet.
Okay. And?
Shot probably came from a Belmargrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
Probably a good thing.
I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech-loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle-loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Worth what, getting shot?
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier.
I was playing it earlier, dude. It's a lot of fun. We're gonna play together? High five for you.
But back to the investigation.
Let's see. The victim had been mixed up with some foreign guerrilla fighters. I don't know. Something's mysterious is afoot with this antique bullet type.
Mysterious? Okay. Either way, we'll know when we find the gun.
Okay. I got to level 6, I think. And it really was a lot of fun. But I'm still a big old noob, so you have to teach me everything. That's exactly right.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Well, I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman like you.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
No, I don't. I've been thinking about starting some like penny stock investing. But I got a lot of debt, and they always say the best, best financial advice is to work on getting out of debt before you start investing in stuff like that, except for retirement, Let's see. Another entity. It says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies.
Too many inconsistencies? What kind of talk is that?
As I said, she's a novelty dice maker. Her business has been set up and running for a long time now.
Yes, because her business consists of the psychic
I should have
leech
jumped on that
that's
train.
been feeding the curse. I see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there.
Oh, poor lady.
Thank you for nothing. Please do buy some books or be on your way.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now.
Yeah.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Yeah. I need money.
The dented yellow mailbox.
Okay, mailbox. What are these? Enormous bulls worthy of a real man.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Case solved.
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack exactly?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
It's her husband, the missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit.
Give me champagne, I'm going in.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found, right now.
Protect and serve, madam. I found your husband.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm that good.
Very well then. Where is he?
There, point to the working class drunk down by the sea.
Excuse me? I don't follow.
There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of worry.
I found a working class drunk and I thought he might be yours.
Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
What?
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one.
Ha, blam. Knew it.
But you told me your husband's all right.
I did, and he is. He's also an alcoholic.
I've been doing good, Skywalker Ranch. How about you? Is he missing as well?
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends.
Yeah, this game is pretty cool.
I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
It's very story heavy, but very interesting. And very interesting.
There. She's worried now.
Kim, is it just me, or do we have a missing persons case here?
I wouldn't be so sure. Ma'am, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police?
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goofballs.
Not at all. The RCM is ready to chase down every goofball in town. We care about you.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
What's your husband look like?
Honestly, not that different from you.
Let me guess. He's disco.
Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to this yet.
Well, why did you say your husband resembles me then?
Well, he's slightly chubby.
Okay, what else?
What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself.
Dark brown leather jacket, bright blue inner lining.
It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear? You can completely sympathize.
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?
Well, if that jacket is really that cool, then I can totally understand.
Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or on the coast. And it's making her more and more worried.
Well, when did you last see him?
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from
I
me
knew it.
in an attempt to recover.
I think I got it, thanks.
So you are going to look for him?
Yep, I'll bring it back home to you.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
I'm sure he will too.
Okay.
When he does, would you let Prison 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing.
I'll get going then. Damn, found that missing person case. Alright, what else we got? Need some money to get that. The hangman's boots. Get boots off the victim's feet. Well, I can't do that anymore. One armor piece. The secret passage. My authority. The smoker. I need my badge. Oh, I need to find a sad song on tape. Searching for the caller, track down my badge. Track down my gun. Oh, read your ledger and name the case. Oh. Special borscht. Oh, I have to use my shortwave radio to run the serial number. Ask Kim to tell you about the case. Ask around about the tattoos meeting. The pants from Kuno. It's fucking Kuno. Firearm. Close the water lock. Okay, already did that. Let's use the shortwave radio and get the armor piece.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me?
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
E50.100.1000. The make and model of the armor is Fairweather T500V.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
Oh shoot, I should have called this in yesterday.
Was there anything else?
Okay, meet a Sylvie.
Just a second. Sylvie Malaika on the line. Yes. Hello?
Hi, it's Sylvie, it's the police again.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it.
Okay.
I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
I think I've got everything I need.
You hear the call.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
You heard back?
No. And I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set.
This is
What's
the
this
Coupe
machine?
Cinema. My motor carriage.
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat.
The sinking feeling I have with the words motor carriage.
Nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
We turn it on and drive somewhere?
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember?
Right.
In the cabin.
What else for me to look at, really? Go check back in the kitchen here. Do.
You see a heavy steel, the door, the cobalt blue, old cobalt.
Okay, can I pry this open?
You see a heavy steel door. The cobalt, old cobalt paint. The cobalt, the cobalt blue, the old cobalt paint.
Okay.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
You know what's behind the door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Okay. Alright, well, I don't know either. Does this guy have anything more to say? I thought we heard something about this guy.
Still here, stuck in this. It's like
going on strike would probably.
Maybe I should go on strike.
Cops don't give.
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother.
I guess you got a point there.
Yes, but do continue.
Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Not my thing.
He tries his best.
Okay. Yeah, I did talk to the Hardy Boys. Okay, wait a day for that. The lock's on Wednesday. Still have to establish authority to Titus. No, that's the next thing we have to do, the drug trade. I have to figure out the drug trade or find my badge. Bird. This guy have anything about the drug trade?
Looking for something?
Looking for something? What this guy?
Right to.
Right to work. I go back and talk to Everard. Bing, 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 bing. Two skill points. What about have anything more to say?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. No trouble at all, mister.
Oh, he's
No
got nothing
trouble
else to say, okay. No trouble at all. What do you know about the drug trade? Can I go behind his back? No.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals.
Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinaise. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy.
What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gaumont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Okay. Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
Okay.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Well, I told Joyce that I met you.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine.
He seems happy about the prospect of you telling Joyce about your conversations.
Sounds like you want me to tell her about our conversations.
No, no, Harry. I'm perfectly neutral and 100% for transparency. I know people say a lot of bad things about the Debarders Union, but we are actually squeaky clean.
Press X to doubt on that.
Yes, he really doesn't seem to mind. Sure, he thinks. It's about transparency.
Hey, Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny. Joyce didn't mention a casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
Okay.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Right?
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Remember the container I asked you about? It turns out there's a mega rich light-bending guy inside.
Mega rich light-bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there?
He's so rich he could get in anywhere.
Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light-bending guys.
Kim, tell him he was there.
There was a guy in the container, but he didn't bend any light. That was in the detective's head.
Honestly, guys, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect.
Let's see. Yes, for God's sake, you're a socialist.
You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbor's fog lights. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Let's see. I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
I am lie.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Talk about my gun?
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
I will not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
You can ask me how I got
Am I
in.
going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard?
Well, I understand. I am a terrifying death machine.
Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Harry.
He's already
Of
done
course,
that.
Harry.
All right.
See you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding, but not too much.
Right.
Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Love has worked out really well for me. I'm a love winner.
Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right?
How come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
I haven't said anything like that.
Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
What is this communism thing even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
I don't do failure.
Of course you do. You are failure. You are communism. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped, shat on. While everyone else is out partying, having a callous laugh, you will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade.
No.
Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? There's no one. Okay then, lie down and let the water carry you downstream.
Goodbye, communism. Down there. Let's get out of the shipping container. Alright, so I guess my choice now is to find my badge or investigate the drugs thing, and I got no leads on my badge. Guess I have to investigate the drug smuggling out of here. back. Is there anything else more to look into this?
A lorry stuck in the track. The windows are clear.
I already did that. Does this old woman have anything to say to me over here yet?
The woman still has her eyes fixed on.
Okay. Doom, 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 doom. I don't think I've been down here yet. There's nothing down here. Broken window. Tibbs has windows. Did I look in this one? I don't think I looked in this one.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Turn the knob to focus your vision.
The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
There are ruins of some kind of building there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Hang in there, little one.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
Let's leave. Right, back around here. We'll talk to Joyce again. Actually, can I go in there?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
This is the police. Open the door.
Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
I need to talk to a young man in this building.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? With the smoker? You already were there. Didn't work.
Kim, tell her we're real policemen.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint, sweeping sounds inside.
Hey, are you there? I've checked the backyard, but couldn't get in that way.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway. You have no business here.
72%. I could make this more of a sure thing if I took off my clipboard, I think, but let me give it a shot anyway.
You can't think of anything convincing. Time for some police brutality.
Open up or I'm gonna breach this motherfucker. Kick the door. Ugh.
No, you're not.
You don't scare me, punk. I may be an old woman, but I can still take the likes of you.
Hey, leave and let's try. Let's one of these. Is it just my? Yeah, my ledger is -2 failure.
A sturdy metal. This could be a way into the apartment building. The smoke.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and...
I have to put skill points in there to get that check again. Shoot. Hmm. I'm gonna talk to this lady while I think about if I want to do a skill check on that.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope.
It was super
I don't
unlucky.
need one myself, you see.
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Neither do I.
Very rugged. Good choice. Now,
She doesn't have anything else to say.
you're
72 is so unlucky. Alright. I think I will spare one skill point to try it again. My authority is actually pretty high without that book on. Without my ledger on.
A sturdy metal door. This could be a way into the apartment.
There we go,
building the
97%.
smoking man vanished into. You're well
There we
versed
go.
in the kind of threatening legalese that implies criminal liability, but in fact has no meaning whatsoever.
Ma'am, your non-compliance is hindering a police matter. I may be forced to refer you for potential prosecution.
I know my rights, and don't you mom me, boy.
But the sweeping on the other side has stopped.
Miss, would it help if we offer to show you our badges?
Hold your horses. I don't care about your stinking badge. Just come in.
We don't need no stinking badges. Empathy and Inland Authority. Or, I'm sorry, Empathy and Inland Empire. Pretty high. I'm gonna keep my... I don't know, I feel like those are pretty high already. I'm gonna keep the ledger off so I can keep my authority higher.
It's the ledger you
Interact
found
with
in the
it.
trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Oh, and the cool piece of toilet paper is stuck to the back.
Inspect the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages.
Said I had to name the case.
Paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you.
Okay.
It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
That seems like a lot.
What do you mean? Is that all?
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I burned out, all right.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There's mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
Oh.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Well, I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit it to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But...
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt.
I love it.
He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
With this beauty...
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
Yeah.
Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Let's cross out the ones I've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
Shit on a stick. The setting sun. The Furies are at home in the mirror. The hanged man. I mean, I was legitimately just gonna go with the hanged man, but you know what, Fuzzy? I'm down. It's gonna be shit on a stick.
Huh. Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, They're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
Fun is outlawed with this guy. What a knock!
What a knock. I guess we'll go with the Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Oh, I got an achievement. Goodest of good cops. What is that? That's my first achievement this entire playthrough. Really get Kim to trust you. Wonder how that's measured. Alright, that's it.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Really got to play through multiple times. It seemed, I mean, there's tons of room for role-playing. This game is probably pretty good with a few extra replays.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Let's see. Logic. Can I read them now? Read the case files? 92%?
Yes,
Yeah.
You can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
Wait, HDB 41, weren't those officer precinct?
Why, yes. Your precinct number is 41.
Oh, Harry Dubois.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Harry Dubois, HDB. Still feels like there's something missing from that.
I think what you meant to say was RAC, Raphaël Ambrosius Costeau.
No, the alphanumeric begins with HDB.
Good. How long does it take to read one of these Raphael stamped cases?
Fine. It takes about half an hour for you to piece one together. Mr. Raphael, which one do you want?
Okay, how about the square bullet hole murders?
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But?
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
A sequence killer?
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next?
Okay.
Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
The couch in an unexpected location.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
Well, they looked really cool, like a rock band.
Yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it and smoked cigarettes because they felt it's intellectual.
Okay.
Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did I ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. you have a real job to do. What next?
What about the next world mural?
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
I keep forgetting about the date. I was like, wait a minute, I thought this case file started in January. Why is this saying December 2nd? No, that's February 12th.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Let's read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
What does it say? Destroy the work and just wreak havoc on the middle class? True love is possible only in the next world for new people. It is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. It is dumb. Let's remove that.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
I must have voted and possibly even lobbied to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit.
No one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Alright, what's the murder at the hookah parlor?
Murder. Tum 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 at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
What, how?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villa Lobos gang members when him and his partner JM, only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
On with the murder.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Was he a good cop, though?
No. He was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still,
what?
He'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. a young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
My friends used to be into hookah for like a couple months. They were like all into it. Kind of cool, I guess. I wouldn't say it was cool or stupid. It was just what it was. We'll say it's cool.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened?
Wait,
how can it be?
Would somebody really do hookah for that long? Would you really smoke all morning until almost 4 in the afternoon? I didn't think that would be like an all-day activity. I mean, I guess maybe. People stay in bars all night. I guess you could stay at a hookah bar all day.
Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge.
He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table and died?
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and what was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was murder at the hookah parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
The unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
Okay.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression. Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie always takes his pants off. Public indecency.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Whoops.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Holy shit.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end.
Jeez.
Does that sound like a Raphaël something Costeau to you, sir?
Yes.
Fine then. You've earned it.
I can
Not
revisit
much
this.
has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still,
Open the
without
drawer.
resistance or sound. The two panels move against each other.
Fucking kill
The
yourself, you
compartment is
asshole, and
now
pick up the
open.
ticket
Two
stubs.
octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too.
I mean, this game wouldn't surprise me. Fucking kill yourself, you asshole, would actually make your character kill yourself. So let me close
It's
that.
slightly.
Got the pen. Detective Cousteau. I can do this. But I get -2 conceptualization. That's something I have good on. Yeah, I'm +4. I think that'll be fun. I'm gonna unlock a new slot to internalize Detective Cousteau. Dear. Alright, let's get in there and try to find this smoking guy. Right. The graffito says a firing squad for the rich.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
You alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Well, I'm going to ask her this name, but this is obviously a fake name. Martin Martinez.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry.
What do you mean? I wasn't joking.
Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez.
Yeah.
Like Tim Jamrock or Raoul Ravachol.
Oops. You really didn't get the joke there.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
Well, how about a young male in his mid-20s? Dark hair, skinny build, smoker on the balcony?
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Scrawny boy.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. I just want to talk to him. You know where he lives?
Talk? He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Thanks, I'm off. Apartment on the balcony. Stairs over here. Exit. Balcony. Bum 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 bum. Breaker box full of cigarette butts and electric wires. Wait, is this 128? Just a door, okay. Rosemary, thyme, and a cactus. A cactus in this weather. Apartment 29, complete silence. Apartment 28 probably. No, 30. Voices from within singing along to some buoyant dance track. Let's see, is this 28? What's that? Curtain shift just a little, someone's watching from within.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security.
Yeah?
Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening.
6:50, not the evening?
We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
9? What do you mean?
The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here.
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow,
that's fine.
9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Damn.
Tomorrow.
Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
Hey, how about I do this?
No one answers. No one answers.
No? Okay.
We should return.
What's in here? 15 real is what it is. Dang, I feel like this day 2, went a lot faster than day 1 did. Wonder why. Actually, investigating that body took a really long time, so that's probably why. Cleaning chemicals, exit. Old shoe rack. Shoes come in 3 different sizes. Apartment 12, loud snoring. What's this? Moss crawls on those bathroom tiles. Actual moss. Shower curtains covered in slime. Some alcohol and magnesium. More real. Like a shared bathroom on the floor. Oh, yeah, you're right. Those case files did take a while. Eviction notices and missing pets. Someone drew a 5-point star on the wall. Oh, I can talk to all these doors. Door number 9 locked. Boogie Street postcard. Let's see if anybody answers at any of these doors.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
What's the padlock?
It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. No reply.
Okay. Those chain cutters on.
This door has been closed with a padlock. But what are you
Oh my
doing?
gosh.
You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters.
I failed
and
another
it's really
72%.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
Chain cutters are broken, Kim.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
Okay, 83%.
The shackle
Okay.
snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
Okay.
After you, Detective.
Better save in case I lose my morale again. It's almost bedtime, so I don't want to use any healing items. Books of Critical Theory, Monstrosities of Capital, Photos of Revolutionaries with Guns, Flamboyant Poster of a White Star. Oh, I missed a chance to... Oh no, here it is. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. 9mm bullet and a Sumerian lounge jacket. Would go over my cool troll cloak.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov. Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
Yeah, we talked about this guy before. I did run into that, and I hadn't known at the time where that happened. I was like, "How do I heal?" Then I died a couple times, not knowing that I could just click these charges to heal. Kim, you have to admit this Kraz Mazov bears a striking resemblance to me.
Hold on a second. Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Krasmazov?
I'm not saying that I am Kraz Mazov, I'm just saying that we look alike.
Sure you are.
Humor me for a moment. Don't you see the resemblance?
Well, you both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns. But it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you.
How do you know? The bust is probably just a romanticized depiction anyway.
Very well. Let's look for identifying features then. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you?
Can't tell, I can't see my face.
Alright, but here's the big thing. Krasmazov looks Samaran, and you don't.
Something we definitely don't have in common? Oh, I don't know. Part Samaritan.
Okay, you win. Be Krasmazov then. I don't care. Why are you so hell-bent on proving that you're Krasmazov anyway?
Because I'm a communard, because I believe a powerful nation state is the only way to protect the working class from subhumans, because actually he wanted stability and incremental progress, and so do I, because he was a totally gangster and a bank robber, went for all the cash in the world. That's me. I'm not sure, it's just a feeling I have, but I trust my feelings. Oh, I was just following because it was funny to look like him.
Kras, if you say so.
Suicide of Krasmazov. Why does this tenant have a bust of Krasmazov in their bedroom?
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
Krasmazov was a mass murderer. There's nothing cool about keeping his bust on your nightstand.
He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Okay. Well, what about this place?
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
We're canvassing the neighborhood.
Walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Oh, that seemed out of order. It actually says, this time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, wary and tense. Does the police open up? Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. You have a warrant. I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
A poor communard.
Okay. This one. Apartment number 8, their mailbox is overflowing. Foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. One. Waves crashing in
A
the
shift in
darkness.
temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Rub our sides for warmth.
A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Ground yourself.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room.
Her face
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
Shiver and finish the thought. He's torn down the wall. Huh. Expanding the apartment out. Old grocery list on the table and checks. Hey. There's another fridge. Wonder, does this old woman have anything else to say?
Give me a moment.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
Okay.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery.
I have a few questions about those apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Do you know who lived in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
Is one of the residents on a vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Who lives in number 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Sure.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways
right, those
with
damn young
trinkets
people.
and empty beer cans.
Who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something
Astrology.
to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's a symbol for communism.
The symbol of what and how?
Communism. It's a political ideology.
I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm than good.
Can you tell me about Sydney?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still...
Actually, Fuzzy, I think I'm about to end it here.
She leaves an old
So if you're
lady to
taking
her
off, I
business.
do really
More
appreciate you
than I
hanging
can
out
say for
and
others.
watching and chatting. And I'll be back next week, and I'll post my schedule in Discord here, so you can check when I'm back playing this next week. But if you got to take off, take care.
Oh, no.
Just gonna see what's in this apartment, or what's the deal with this apartment here, and then we'll probably end right after that.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here? Excuse me, of course not. I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in. Oh, come on. There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
That was smart.
You too, Fuzzy. Have a good one. This. Fine mattress. Don't be ridiculous. You can hear things swarming with bugs. Blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. You should take it. Hypnogamma. Black monk straps. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. What? What does that even mean? Affluent moneymaker man. Most advanced dress through, so advanced that walking through slush and mud does not leave a single trace on them. Okay, that's weird. I'll leave those off for now.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20 at least. Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
She's got... It's like the female version of Harry. Inspect the passport.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Nice haircut.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Sounds like they knew how to have a good time.
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny.
Yeah.
Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
Couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate and breathe life into bank accounts.
My money's also disappeared, I think.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
Alright, what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
That's all, thank you.
Of course.
Let's go tell the cleaning lady it's a real estate agent. Ooh, shoes. Money in them. What's this? Oh, $6. What? $6 on the floor there. Almost have enough money for tomorrow's room.
Give me a moment.
I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment 10. It was just a real estate agent setting up the room for new tenants.
I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
No one is coming. There will be nothing but squalor unless we start killing real estate agents. My god. I'm sure everything will be fine. This apartment building needs slow change. Imperceptibly slow.
Yes. Well, I hope they're good people.
Your statements are too vague to comment on.
What? Too vague? What you want me to say? We should just kill real estate agents? All right. Well, like I said, we just finished investigating the apartment building. We still got some other leads we got to follow up on, but that's going to be it for me to now. I went an hour later than I originally planned on, but I started an hour earlier too, so more stream content. That's going to be it for me right now, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. If you're new to the stream, please consider following in order to, get a notification when I go live. If you're just tuning in at this stage of my Disco Elysium playthrough, check down below the stream. You can get links to, my previous days of this game, as well as my games list here with all the previous games I've played, as well as my Discord server. That's where I will post my schedule for next week. I will be back next week. We have new patch for Fallout 76, which I will be playing. More Apex Legends, because that game was very fun. And we will continue our adventure here on Disco Elysium. Quick shout out, obviously, to I Stood in Poop for the follow and the subscription. Thank you so much. High five again for you. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be back next week, guys. And that's it. Take care and have a good one. Catch you guys next time.